Right, and we'll have more business news for you in the next hour of Live from Paris. Right now, we're going to take a look at what's grabbing headlines in the newspapers here in France with Flo. Hi there, Flo. First of all, we're going to look at a very controversial story. It's provoking a lot of debate all across France, it would seem right now. This is a story about a man who's been in a vegetative state for several years. His family and loved ones arguing over his right to die, which was actually accorded by the courts. A new video's come out, and we ought to say that France 24 has made an editorial decision not to show pictures from this video. Tell us what the papers are saying.
Well, so this is Vincent Lambert. He's been in this vegetative state since a road accident 7 years ago. And as you said, he's been at the heart of this very, very bitter debate about the right to die here in France, a debate that's really torn his family apart. So this video has come out. You can see here, this is Le Figaro talking about a very troubling video. It was posted online by his very devout Catholic parents and some of his friends. Now, the video is titled Vincent Lambert is not at the end of his life. It was filmed on June the 5th, and it apparently shows the 39-year-old reacting to the sound of his mother's voice with varying facial expressions. So as you said, this is a very controversial video that we haven't decided to show, but you can read about descriptions about it in the French press.
And as you said, Vincent Lambert's parents, devout Catholics, as are a lot of people here in France. But his wife taking a different stance, one that's been backed up by the European Court of Human Rights.
That's right, and that's what's interesting about this video is it came out the same day that the European Court of Human Rights deemed that he did indeed have the right to die. So that was on June the 5th. Now, this is an article that his wife, Rachel, has written today in Libération, and she calls for the European Court of Human Rights ruling to be applied immediately. You can see Vincent Lambert a trop attendu. He's waited too long. Now, she and others, his doctors notably, have accused those behind the video of manipulation. Now, there's a big debate about just what this video says in the debate. How valid is it in the debate? Well, Le Parisien, must be said, has interviewed some specialists who say this might not really be communicating. There's one specialist, Bernard Devalois. He's an authority in end-of-life care, and he says if you'd read out the telephone directory, he would have responded in very much the same way.
Now, there's also the issue that I mentioned before about whether this video should indeed have been posted online. Of course, Vincent Lambert incapable of giving his consent for this.
Absolutely. That's exactly what Libération says in an article today. It says that his intimacy was violated. There was no way he could give his consent. And you see these campaigners that are really turning him into a symbol that he hasn't accepted or not. You see him in a weak and sick state in this video. It shows how much they actually care more about their cause than his life. And what's interesting, though, is the Catholic paper, La Croix, also seems to be very shocked about this video today. They say, let's not forget that at the heart of this debate, there is a man, Vincent Lambert. His intimacy was really thrust onto the public scene without him being able to say anything. And in the end, this video isn't really going to change the debate. All it's going to do is entrench everyone in their positions.
It's not going to change that ruling from the courts, at least, for sure. OK, thanks very much for taking us through that very controversial story. Let's move on to another one that's really had people talking, particularly here in Paris. We're talking about undocumented migrants' camps being broken up.
That's right. There were several of these camps that have been broken up since the beginning of the month. Libération, the left-leaning paper, talks about a fiasco. This evacuation of migrant camps has really thrust France's asylum system into the spotlight, and it's not a pretty picture. You can see Libération saying that the situation is totally out of control. France's system is absurd and ill-adapted. And in its editorial, Libération says, let's not forget that a lot of these migrants are political refugees, and let's apply the law. That means that people who are being persecuted should be welcomed here in France. But it's a very, very thorny debate. In fact, lawmakers can't even agree. Le Figaro talks about the fact that the upper house and the lower house of parliament here haven't been able to agree on a common text on asylum seekers.
OK, thanks very much, Flo. Who'll be back a bit later on looking through the international press for